Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you can all hear me. It's Lynn Rene MacDonald coming to you live for our live talk forum here in Virginia Beach, Virginia at the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon. All right, so it's Wednesday night. We're back to our traditional night just for this week. Not sure what it's going to be for next week. I'll have to look at my schedule and let you guys know. Tonight's show runs from 7:15 to 8:45, I believe, and that's what they usually run our shows. It is a live talk forum. It is a question and answer for everybody here to come on and ask questions at any time that they would like about their lives, what's going on in the world, and it's all information from higher knowing. Is this, are you sure this is on, Rachel? Okay, all right. Just want to make sure because I'm a little bit further from the video and I can't really see too well, being so far away. Okay, so we're coming to you live. This is a show for higher knowing. We answer your questions. We got a lot of great topics tonight. We have my associates Rachel and Jennifer. Jennifer's just getting me a tea together. I see some people coming on. Thanks for coming, guys. We're a few minutes late. We weren't sure we were going to have the same difficulties this week, and every day in these times, it's more wild things and challenges that we're having to deal with. I'm sure all of you understand that and are going through it. I see everybody coming up on here. Hey, everybody, thanks for coming. We're coming to you live from Virginia Beach, Virginia, the Copper Dragon and the Institute for Christ Consciousness. And that said, I'm going to pull up my Facebook and tell you guys what tonight's show is going to be from our ad that we put out. It's going to be our usual question and answer, psychic Q&A of higher knowing with all the astrology stuff that we usually throw in there, as well as any wisdom that comes in from universe for your best and our best tools and gifts and knowledge of everything that is. Okay, and answers as well for our lives and our solutions. Oh, yes, thank you for my tea, Jennifer. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so I got my tea, guys. See my tea? All right. I think it might be hot. And it is. Okay, let me see if I can pull up on the page here and see if I can pull up the ad that we put on. I don't know if it's going to come up. Let me see if I can do the same thing here and if I can pull it up without. Okay, here we go. I think I got it. Okay, so tonight we talked about the psychic Q&A as we always have every week. All right, the best tools for your life is always understanding all that is metaphysical and earth world, the law that governs all of this, which is love. As always, we talk about this and everything to do with that. And as always, a special segment on your best health in these times and talking about the universe and your soul, and it's lining you up for your destiny, and that's what's going on now. That's going to be our major segment for tonight, lining you up for your destiny with universe. When the darkness or things aren't happening in your reality in the way that you want it to happen, you let go, you ask God for it, you clear your blocks, you work on your stuff, you continuously work with love, and this is what happens. Universe is taking basically the wheel, as always. Jesus, take the wheel, right? So universe is taking the wheel to bring us everything that we ask God for. Now, it might not be the smooth route or the easy route or the one that you thought it would be, but it is for sure, no doubt, what is best for us for all, and universe is starting to make your dreams happen. That's what tonight's segment is going to be about, our main segment, along with all of the other stuff that we talk about. And let's see, so universe will be lining you up for your destiny. Okay, so let's see, and that's pretty much it. A lot going on tonight. I'm super excited. As you know, our show is on donations, so if you can donate, please do, whether you donate monetarily or you donate by sharing about our shop and center or about our show and what we do. That would be great as well. Everything is about positive, healthy energy exchange from love, all right? Thank you all, too, for your donations and for coming, okay? And so I'm going to be talking with Jennifer and Rachel first off to see what questions are from last week and questions that in the meantime you guys can come up with to ask if you have any for your best life or what's going on with you and you want to share anything. Please do. This is a forum to share your wisdom as well as with everybody and connect in a community, in a community of love, and to help everybody from the space. Okay, all right, so thanks so much, and we're going to take it from here. Rachel, is there any questions from last week?
Nope, we're caught up.
All right, guys, we're all caught up for this week. Okay, what about you, Jen? You have any questions?
Not right now.
All right, Jen says not right now. She's making teas. She's biggie making teas. Okay, all right. So, and I'm assuming there isn't any in the audience right now because we just got on. Okay, wild times, guys. Wild times, as we say.
We do have Nikki, Steve, Andrea, and Teresa all saying hello.
Oh, okay. Hey guys. Hey Teresa. Hey Steve. Hey Nikki and Dee. Hey guys. Thanks for coming. Appreciate all your help and support. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I guess what is coming into is Rachel had some questions today that she wanted to talk about some items which would be really cool to discuss today. Really neat wisdom is in these things and past life stuff. So Rachel, I know, has some questions. Did you get your items?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So I feel like we should start here with Rachel and her items while you guys think of other things that you might want to know about.
Do you want to see both of them?
Yeah. Okay, first up, this is really pretty cool. Rachel got a pendant from Molly, who is one of our people. You guys know Molly, I think. Okay. All right. So this is Rachel's pendant. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can see it really close. It's kind of like a snake eye. In other words, when you look at it, it's got a lot of darkness within it, right? And it's a pendant. What do they call that stone?
Garden quartz.
They call it a garden quartz, right? And that would make sense. So we're going to do a little bit of a read on this tonight for Rachel. Another scam. Scam likely on my phone, right? Always interfering. All right, so back to this. This is a birthday gift for Rachel. Rachel had a birthday a couple days ago, and Rachel got some beautiful gifts, and this was one of them from Molly. So we're going to do what I call, what do you call that?
Psychometry?
Psychometry, yes, thank you. So we're going to do a psychometry read on this for Rachel, but what's interesting is when Rachel first showed it to me, I was like, whoa, because I got, oh, that's really dark, because it really does come in as being a dark stone. So she was like, yeah, I don't know if I feel like wearing it or not, and I asked her about the stone, and she said it was a garden stone?
Garden quartz.
Garden quartz. What's amazing about that is a garden quartz grows out of the earth. The earth has been inundated with a matrix of darkness, right? Darkness is what has taken over here. So the garden quartz, one of the reasons it looks so kind of like dark and creep, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it almost looks like snake eyes or dragon eyes, right? I don't know if you can see it, but definitely has a vibe of darkness about it. So when Rachel told me that, she was like, oh, I really don't feel like wearing it. I'm not feeling really great about it. And I said, yeah, but tools like this help us to negate the darkness, okay? So what happens with things like this is it sucks up the energy of darkness to protect you, right? And I said, Rachel, this is what I'm getting from Spirit, and I'm sharing this wisdom with her, and I'm sharing this with you guys. So anytime you see a dark thing, it's all about the intent that you put into it. It is about the intent of what you're going to use it for, right? So technically, this pendant of Rachel's could be a dark thing, or it can be a light thing, a thing of the light. And that all depends on Rachel and her intent with it. So, but what Universe said to me is this was designed, given to her by Spirit to protect her from the darkness of all around. That's all around. And Rachel had a really wild experience today, because what it does is this pendant, it kind of unites Rachel with the darkness to protect her, but it does not make her the darkness. So it's like puts a veil over her light, so to speak, of protection from the darkness. So Rachel went to return something today, and at that time, the energy in the place where she had to return it wasn't really healthy, right? Yeah. And she went in there, and the guy just started, he was really nasty on the phone, and so she expected to have a storm with him when she went to return the item. When she walked in there, the guy was like really cool and decent to her, except he was like saying all this nasty stuff to her, like she was part of the darkness and part of that energy, wasn't she?
Not every customer, the people on the phone he was talking to, he was saying really nasty stuff, like I was supposed to laugh along and agree with him, and I was just like, I just want to go.
Yeah, but so she really got to see how the pendant worked, which is wild. You know, Universe brings everything into our lives for protection, for assistance, for gifts, tools, wisdom of all different kinds. So this is to let you guys know the cool stuff like this, and the fact that it's a garden quartz means it connects to the earth, right? So in one way, in a huge way, it has many gifts, all right, but it connects to the earth to protect her from the matrix of darkness that's here. So she is of the light, she is a light warrior or light being, and so she didn't have to deal with the abusiveness or the nastiness or the toxicness of the darkness and in the place that she went, because the quartz protected her from that. Wicked cool stuff. So remember, when your soul picks out something or universe gives you a gift from somewhere, it is your soul calling it in. And that is the case of this beautiful pendant that Molly got for Rachel. And that is some of the huge, super powerful gifts with this. So remember that when you guys get stuff and you're like, well, I don't really connect with this, or I don't know, or I'm not feeling it, because everything is connected to you metaphysically in some way, shape, or form, and has infinite gifts, infinite layers of wisdom. Okay? All right. That said, that's one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight. And Rachel, you got something else, right?
Yeah, I brought the book.
Awesome.
What do you want to see?
This is another one of Rachel's great gifts that she got. It is called A Treasury of Grand Opera, edited by Henry S. Simons. So this is a very old book. I thought it was tore up.
It had like another case on top of it that's super tore up.
Why did you not bring it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's
Yeah. All right. So this is a really good lesson for all of us too.
Yeah.
Because Rachel handed me the book, but she handed me the interior of the book. This is actually the interior. There is actually, apparently Rachel got this as a gift for her birthday as well. I believe Sophia gave it to her, and that makes sense because Cancerians will pick up on past lives in their gifts with the people that they get gifts for. All right. On a subconscious soul level, because that's what they are. They're the master sign for multidimensional, for past lives, for this kind of energy. Anything having to do with death, dying, transformation, medium work, you know what I mean? And things of the past, even psychometry, being able to read these things, right? So what Rachel did here is she bought her book. I said, go get your book. But the original cover of the book is all tore up, but it is still part of the book, right? Part of the energy of the book. And Rachel being, oh, I'll just make this simple and I'll just bring this part of the book so everybody can see it. Can you see it, guys? It's really beautiful, and the art is pretty amazing, too. It reminds me of Lautrec. It's like a watercolor people thing a little bit. Reminds me of Lautrec.
1940s book.
Huh?
1940s.
It's a 1940s book. Okay, so it's quite beautiful. It has all these pages, and it's called the Treasury of Grand Opera. Okay, so it has music in it, as you guys can see. It's a very old book. So Rachel automatically, and Sophia, of course, subconsciously, picked up on this and knew it was for Rachel. It also has some beautiful drawings in it. I don't know if you guys can see. It's kind of hard with the lettering on the telephone here, the screen. All right, so you can see the beautiful art. There's beautiful art. There's all these stories and music in here, okay? So Rachel brings me this book right now, and she wanted to read on it, and that was what she originally wanted to read on, and the necklace came in too with this. But the issue is that Rachel didn't bring me the whole entire thing. So the book, right, is going to give me some of the story, but the rest of the story has to be given from the rest of the book. Right, do you understand what I'm saying? So you want to, at any time, bring the whole complete thing. Like, even when I talk to people, they're like, my boyfriend left me. Can you believe he left me? And I'm like, well, let me hear the story behind this so I can help you with this. Don't give me bits and pieces. You can work with the energy of love and get the greatest answer, but you need to have the complete God's honest truth, right? So without the whole item, all right, you have a propensity to miss things. Do you understand that? Yeah. So, and the reason I'm asking is because if we go get the cover and all, there is something that I need from there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't be asking for it. Yeah. And that's part of my gifts. Right? Yeah. Part of all of our gifts, everybody who has these gifts, and you all have all the gifts that I have, everybody has. Whether they realize it or not, have stepped into it or not, or get it or not. That's the truth of God or the truth of love. All right, so that said, if I'm wanting the whole book, there is a reason. There are bits and pieces missing, just like when people come to me and they want my assistance, and they tell me some of their symptoms when they're not well, or they tell me, bits and pieces of the story, but not the whole story. Universe will always fill me in, ask and you shall receive. But the more information I have to read on, to work with, to get you the whole God's honest truth of the whole story is always going to be the best way to do it whenever possible. Okay, because there is information infinitely in everything. And she didn't bring the cover because the cover's all tore up, and she figured I didn't need that. All I needed was this, right? But that is needing to be called in for this. Okay, Yeah. So that said, we talk about this. I'm wondering if you could run down there and get it to 103. So we're going to send Rachel on a road trip right now to go down and get the cover to this book. And we're going to put this over here on the side because apparently there is for sure information that I need from that cover to help Rachel, because Rachel and Sophia both know that this connects to their past lives. Rachel is also Cancerian, so in other words, she has a lot of Cancer energy in her. She has a Gemini in her sun sign, a Cancer in her rising, and a Sag moon is her moon sign. Okay, so Rachel has a lot of Cancer energy in her. Sophia is a Cancer rising, actually a Sag rising, a Cancer moon, and a Libra in her sun sign. So really neat stuff. How you can see how they can connect with that Cancerian energy. So Sophia bought a gift, knew it was for Rachel, knew it was about past lifetimes, and Rachel, when she received it, knew it as well. Did you cry when that happened?
I got very emotional.
Yeah, she got very emotional.
I didn't want to let go of the book.
Yeah. Okay, so Rachel's going to take a little road trip to our other space and get the cover to our book here, and then we will take this segment from there. In the meantime, Jennifer, any questions coming up?
Nikki has a question.
Okay. Hey, Nick.
Oh, before I forget though, Evelyn says hello.
Hi, Evelyn. Hi.
Nikki says, hey, I've been noticing since before Canada caught on fire that a lot of birds are dying, mostly baby birds. Is that normal?
What do you mean by you've been noticing? Like, when you say that, is there just like dead birds around your house? Like in springtime, anytime there's springtime like this, there's...
It's funny, I'm sorry, but there was a dead bird at the shed, a little baby bird by the trash can.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just crazy.
Okay, so Jennifer also saw a dead bird.
Yeah.
All right, so here in general rule in Earthworld in the springtime, you're going to find a lot of dead animals and babies and younger animals as well. And just like you may in the fall too, when it's like end of season kind of stuff. All right, it has a heightened energy, right? With springtime, you have birth, you have new babies, and there's always going to be a ratio for those babies to cross over because they don't have any life experience. So you're going to have babies falling out of nests and things like that. But it is a natural way of God or universe in the springtime that you're going to have those things happen. Okay, so when I say, how you've been noticing more dead birds, Jennifer saw a little baby bird that was dead, like she just said, and you said you've seen a few. Okay, but here's the question. How many are you noticing? Is this just like one or two? Because as a general ratio, this is a common thing in Earthworld law of universe. When I used to ride all over the country, I used to see dead animals all the time. A lot of babies in the springtime. A lot of young animals in the springtime. It's like inevitable. There's a certain time of year when that happens, depending on where in the country you are. When I used to travel a lot by car, I used to see a lot of them on the side of the road. So as a general rule, these are the things that happen in nature, all right, during the spring. There's death and rebirth and new life, and as a general rule, you're going to find a lot more dead babies because this is the springtime, right? And that happens naturally in Earthworld. You see, that's when the babies are born in the spring. You know what I mean? Okay, so that said, that's all part of law of universe. But so how many are you seeing? If you can answer that question, that would be great. And what makes you say that, think that, feel that? What came in for you? What I'm picking up on is there will be more coming in the future, and this is more like a sign of that. In other words, not that you're wrong. You are picking up, there's a lot of dead babies, but really this is really more like what's coming in the future. We've been poisoned and poisoned and poisoned. Just like the smoke in the sky last week, and then the train wrecks and the poisoning in the water, and then there's multiple different ways that the world is being poisoned, and animals are also I would say, I guess the word is privy to this, right? So animals are also going to have this. This poisoning, just like the lifespan of dogs, if you haven't noticed, has gone down from like the traditional 10 years old has now become 6 or 7. It's insane. 6, 7, 8. And then you go to the vet and they're like, oh yeah, that's a good life for a big dog. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not. My first German Shepherd that I owned, that I had as my baby, really. Her name was Kayla, and she lived to be 15 years old, almost 15 years old. And she also had bloat. She also had a surgery, and yet she lived to be this age, because here's the deal. There's a lot less toxins when I was in my 20s than I am now in my what, 50s? Yeah, in my 50s. We're talking 30 years some, right? So what I'm picking up is the death. The animals that you're seeing is a sign of the death that is coming in both nature and in multiple ways. It's a time of death, dying, and transformation. There's multiple messages in this. And so what's coming in is the same thing Jennifer saw, a dead baby bird. Same thing. All right. So there's going to be, and I don't want to hype anybody out or scare anybody, but there's going to be lots more death coming into the future. It can't not happen because they're poisoning things. They're causing all kinds of, they meaning the darkness. All right. Because remember, we are in a spiritual war, a battle of dark and light. And so this is going to happen. It's not like it's just going to happen to people. It's all over the environment with the chemicals and everything. We had a frog all last summer that was outside of one of our units, and he used to come out at night when we would work late till, like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning with the LOA shows, right? We would come out and he would be out there. And we named him. His name was Trevor. Well, he told us his name. His name was Trevor. And we were hoping that Trevor would stick around for a really long time. And this year, a few weeks into the season, we found Trevor dead outside of our one unit, and we were like bummed. We were really bummed because he had a personality. He would talk to us. He was like excited, and we were excited to have him. And nature is beautiful, and frog is abundance. Frog is abundance. So they bring multiple messages. And bird is flying, being able to fly, with whatever it is, your dreams, your happiness, whatever it is that you ask God or love for, right? Being able to fly, right? Okay, so hold on 1 second.
Nikki did answer your questions, by the way.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Okay, great. What did she say?
She says basically that she's been seeing them on the street and on the sidewalk while she's walking to work. She says maybe about 7 of them.
Yeah, 7 is a considerable now. Yeah, over how long of a period of time?
She didn't say that. She does say that she is agreeing with you and she feels like you're right on,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah. I really do feel, yes, this is some of the evidence of the toxins that are going on now, especially since you saw so many, and we're seeing that happen. And that's what's so crazy about this, is that's what happened with Trevor. I looked at him and I was like, wow. And he was in the parking lot, right? Because he had a little hole, like a pipe that he used to go in into the curb, and that was like his home. And we would see him in there, and he would come out at night, and he would be chill, but never would we have imagined, we were afraid he would have got run over by a car, but that's not what happened. We found him outside of his space, and he was he passed away, and he was complete. He didn't look like he had been run over by a car or anything like that. He was whole in his body, so we were sad. We kind of did a little burial thing for him. As crazy as we are, yes, that's what we did, because we loved him, and we wanted to give him the respect of the loveliness that he gave to us, and return that from our life to him. And even if people say, well, he was just an animal, no, that energy all goes to good things when you do stuff like that. So we buried Trevor because we felt like he honored us and he loved us, and we had a great life with him. Okay, but what I got from Universe, I was like, hey, I was like, did he get hit by a car? What's the story? What's the God's honest truth? And what we got was poisoning. And really, that's a main core of what's happening here. So you're going to see more and more animals dying as we go on, but there is no doubt that this is also a sign of what's coming more and more and more into the future. It cannot be avoided. The more we get poisoned, the more there's going to be sickness and casualties, and it can't not happen. And again, this is the goal of this universal toxic matrix of darkness that we have going on here in Earthworld. Okay, Earthworld itself is actually a very beautiful planet. It really is. And that said, that's what's going on, Nikki. And I'm just wondering, is there anything else that she asked, Jen? And thanks for interrupting me so that I can have a conversation, because I can't really see what you guys write on here. But Jennifer and Rachel assist me with that. So you guys know that I'm not reading them right up front, your questions, that Jennifer and Rachel are here so that we can all work together to make sure that you can hear what's going on. And I can hear you.
She did say that it's been over about 2-month period. This has been going on.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Again, it's that springtime thing as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And the truth is, in this area, they spray. I don't know where you guys are. Everywhere we go, there's tons of massive amounts of people. I see landscapers, people from the city spraying pesticides like everywhere, right? Spraying stuff everywhere. And if it's poisonous and it kills things, it can never, ever really be good for you. It can't. Not really. No. All right? Or good for maintaining your best health, especially, right? That said, we're going to move on unless Nikki has any more to go on with this. And is there anybody else, Jen?
Not currently.
Rachel's back.
Thing.
You got your book?
I do.
All right. So now we're going to move back to Rachel and her book, which we just talked about a few minutes ago. Yeah. Ooh. All right. This is actually the cover of the book. As you can see, it's pretty tore up. The actual cover. This is what pieces basically are left of it. It's very, very old. I'm just looking at it. I'm feeling the energy of it. All right, God, what's the God's honest truth about this book and Rachel and the past lives and the things that's coming on in here, coming in here? This is the cover. You saw the inside cover. This is the inside of this cover. All right. I'm just going to take a look at all of these things, and then we're going to go to it. Okay, the first thing that I see here, Rachel, too, on this is there's a sign here, a handwritten sticker on here, and it says 7, 9, and 4, okay? And then it says $18, okay? The 18, 8 and 1 is 9, which is end of cycles. So this is multiple meanings, okay? This is end of cycles for you here in Earthworld. End of cycles, meaning end of cycles, you're going through an end of cycle and a new beginning, transformation. So the number 8 is abundance, and the number 1 is about the self. We put those together. We have 8 and 1 is 9, right? And now it doesn't mean that those are the only meanings for those numbers, but those are the most prominent ones that universe is sharing with me now. That is the wisdom from all of this for you now in the space of God you are in this lifetime, as well as bringing us back to multiple lifetimes. So this too was an end of cycle lifetime for you. Okay, end of cycles. All right, what went on with this is an end of cycles. All right, so this too shows us end of cycles for you. Okay, in this lifetime. It's not necessarily about crossing over. It's about endings and new beginnings, just like what we're going through here in Earthworld, new lives. Right? We're doing one thing, we're having to morph, the world has changed, now we're doing something completely different. Do you see? Yeah. And so just the sticker alone on this book that is older and worn out, but definitely of this age, right? You guys can see it. It's very, it was very on the top. It's the little white thing up there, if you can see. All right. And it's very faded, so you can barely read it. So you guys probably won't be able to see it on here. And it's in red. What's interesting about that is the ink is all in red and the sticker is white. White is of the light and red is the color of passion. Life force energy, right? Yeah. So new cycles that are going to begin your new life and your new passion. You know, you have the color which brings messages. Everything is a color that brings messages. Numbers that bring messages. Do you see?
Yeah.
All right. So that's one of the first messages in the psychometry and the energy of this book, okay, for Rachel in the cover. So this is another reason why we needed the whole book, right? So we got this and we got this, right? Okay. And we go into it, and it says, a treasury of grand opera. Interesting enough, the 1920s comes in with this, 1923. Okay. And it comes in, when I look at all these very dramatic drama, life, and what's wild about this, the Grand Old Opera, they told stories in the opera. They tell stories in the opera, and they use music, and they use storytelling, and they use dynamic costumes, and it's really eccentric, and it's really dramatic, and that's always been part of the opera from the beginning, right? That's what makes people want to go see it. It's theatrical, it's entertaining, right? And what we're doing at the ocean front, bringing our gifts, is a variation of this. Do you see?
Yeah.
When we go do the live shows at the ocean front, we're entertaining. We are in costume, right? Or dress that is for what we are doing there, to entertain, to get attention, to bring us the gifts of whatever the things that we are wearing bring us. Like black is overall, like this is black too, right? Okay, so this blackness, you guys see that? That's black there too. Okay, that black is the color of spiritual deities. So this brings in that energy as to why we would be wearing black, right? As well as black, and you have white when we go to the ocean front and we do our psychic Q&As, our live shows at the ocean front, right? And we do our gifts. When we go there, we wear black. Rachel wears black and white. And this is to help people understand that not everything is black and white. It's not in the way that we think, and there's multiple layers, which is wild, right? A lot of you have seen the pictures that we post on the internet, right? You can go check them out on my Facebook page. You'll see the people there. You'll see what Rachel's wearing. You'll see what I'm wearing. I'm in black, and that's a high-end, like priests, people of God. Red, white, black, purple. Those are like the four colors, what universe tells me, of completion, the primary colors that deities of God or love or church, God, that whole energy, high-end spiritual priestesses, beings wear particular colors, and those are the four major colors that are in that. So interesting enough, this is on the cover of this, right? So this is connecting Rachel with this past life and the things that were not completed. So you had big dreams then that are buried in you from past lives, that this book that Sophia picked up and bought for you as a gift, this is to open up the doorway, right? And the reason the cover, this is to open up the doorway to your new life, which is in this field in some way, shape, or form, but it is not the same as this. It is to reopen up these avenues in your soul for your best healing, for your best gifts, tools, energy, everything that you need for your new destiny, your new life in this lifetime, because you did not get to complete it in this one. You hit the end of cycle and then you crossed over. Do you understand that? Okay? You didn't get to be in that space that you desperately so wanted to be, being well known for what you do, being, honored and respected and loved. And so these energies are buried in your soul. And when she gives you this gift, this releases them, which is also why you became so emotional. But it also releases you, and through this process, this emotional process of giving you something in Earth World, there's massive healing here. Massive healing for you, as well as these gifts to bring to your journey to live the rest of that destiny in a new way. That's why I needed the cover, because the cover fell off, because it is not the same anymore. Do you understand? It is sorry, I got it upside down. This is the book is like, this book is now new, which is also why you left the cover back there. You don't want to remember the past. You want to remember the new, and you want to go into the new. Yeah. Pretty neat shit, huh, guys? Just incredible wisdom. Yeah, so you want to go into your new life, and this book is clean, and it's beautiful, but when you see the cover, right, it brings you back to the past of a life that was broken, right, not whole, right, not whole. Remember, there's messages in everything. So Sophia, this is a much bigger gift than any of us could ever imagine here in Earth World. And this is all what we're here to teach and do and share with the world. This is all part of metaphysical wisdom, the God's honest truth of the law of the universe and how things work, and everything is super connected to us, and there are no accidents ever, and there are messages, in the fact that this is the cover, in the fact that it fell off the book, right, in the fact that you're doing the similar thing in this lifetime now, just a little bit different. You see? Yeah. Amazing stuff. So there's going to be great healing with this, and you can see the outfits and the band and the music and just the whole thing is beautiful. And also, interesting enough, there's a swan on the cover. Could somebody look up the spirit animal meaning of swan? Because if you look here, guys, there's a little swan on the bottom here. I don't know if you can see him. I'm going to try to bring it up close. You see the swan there? So I'm sure there's a message within the swan. There's a message within all the colors of this book. And also, if you see this, it's kind of gray, it's kind of cloudy, and you could say it's a sign of the time and the art in those times, for sure. In Earthworld, absolutely. But you can also say that with this comes a lot of gray energies, a lot of sadness. That's why the back is gray. It's not, nothing is black and white. It's gray. Everything is there is black and white and gray, right? But also this is a gray lifetime for her. And also in here, with the colors and the front of it, even the colors here are muted because she didn't really get to live that full, complete life. Do you understand that? You didn't get to be in the vibrant of all the colors and all that they are, right? Like when I posted Madeline's magnets, those little magnets, if any of you saw those magnets that Madeline made, they're on my Facebook page. Absolutely beautiful. They're all made out of glass. But the colors are so bright and vibrant and Piscean and emotionally like filled with brightness. And it's those colors that are not in this. You see what I'm saying? But now you have a new book. And it came to you on your birthday, day of rebirth, right? Yeah. For your dreams, your happiness, and that's no accident either. And one of your best metaphysical friends and family bought you this gift. You know, bought this gift to you. So fascinating and amazing stuff, isn't it? Do you have any questions? And I'm going to ask them because I feel like you want to know more about the actual life. Am I right? Yeah, Rachel wants to know more. Who wouldn't want to know more, right? Yeah, me too. Okay. Let me see.
This is a good one, Lynn.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So in this energy, what I'm picking up is you were part of the opera. You know, it was always, you're always going to get your turn and you're next and you're next and you never come first. And it's the same old fucking story. You know what I'm talking about? A variation of this life because you still create it. Everybody before you. Everybody gets to be the star before you. And in this life, no more. Because you're stopping that. And what you are is what you attract. Do you see what I'm saying? So basically, you lived your whole life in the opera, had grandiose dreams of what you wanted to do because it was a love for you, but you never really got to finish your song. Okay? Yeah. See the colors in that life, truly live that life and live your passion. And in this one, come hell or high water. Oh my God. Then they're telling me you tripped and fell on the stage. Hold on a minute. And you broke your ankle and ended up with a fucking infection that became septic and you died. Oh this is so fucking crazy. I'm like sitting here and they're like, da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, what? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you wanted to know what happened, so there you go. But there was some more stuff coming in here. It's so crazy how this works, isn't it?
When I was in high school, I ran track for a season and I fell in the middle of a race in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And it was mortifying. Fucking mortifying. And I feel like that's part of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It sure is. I think you guys can hear her. Yeah. So you will repeat, or these energies will represent themselves in your life, whatever life it is, and multiple times. Just like me having a second dog that had bloat. Second dog, both are German Shepherds. One was a male, one was a female. What are the odds of that? So these energies are in my soul and family ancestry as well. If these things happen to me and they happen to other members in my family, do you understand that? And if you're my friend, you're going to have like energies in you in some way, shape, or form because you are what you are is what you attract in the energy. So these propensities are possible for you. You understand? So this and everything hooks up and interconnects from lifetimes. So this is absolutely true what you're saying, and this is what happened with you. And what's funny is how it connects to me with my father, and my father was septic. Do you see what I'm saying? So all these energies are running in our families. My father was septic when he passed away. Excuse me. So And that means that if it's in the family lineage for you, it's the family lineage for me. This is a powerful energy. So like when I become sick or or have an infection, it's nothing to fuck around with, right? I have to make sure that I take care of me so that I don't let this go too far, as should we all take care of our health, especially in these times when the stars are, the energy of the stars and all that is God is influxes, and what has happened here is we've all been poisoned. So how do we combat and change that? Do you see what I'm saying? So we have to take better care of ourselves and be wiser, right? And work on getting rid of these energies, or freeing ourselves of these energies in our souls. Thanks God for that for us, right? From love, and put the best way to be from love in place of this, in the purest form, in this reality, any reality and all that is. And thank you God for that for us. Okay. And we are on my channel today, right? We are on my Facebook page. So somehow, whatever happened last week or so got straightened out. So thanks God for that for us. Power of prayer, people. The power of talking and working with love changes everything. Ask and you shall receive. Always, always. That's what we do, right? Okay. So that's the crazy stuff that happened. Yeah, and the reason this happened with your ankle and why your ankle broke is because you just couldn't pivot. You just couldn't move forward. You just couldn't get out of that space. And you've done this for many lifetimes where you couldn't get out of that space, as we all have. We came here to Earth World. Why? So that we would get whatever we needed to our souls chose this, okay, to release these energies in us, like once and for all, that have been residing in us for a really long ass time, that we are tired of, that we no longer want. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So this is all having to do with this life. So in this lifetime, as well as that lifetime, in this lifetime is a continuation. Like people say to me, oh, how many lifetimes have I had with my mother? And I'll be like, oh, you had 2 to 3. And they go, what do you mean 2 to 3, right? Well, you had 2 that were complete, and there's a third one that wasn't finished. This would be a lifetime that was not finished. Do you understand that? Yeah. It's not finished because you didn't get to see those colors. You didn't get to live that passion. You didn't get to be stage and well known and for all that you do and love what you do and truly live in the capacity of all that it is and enjoy everything in that space. You didn't get to do that. So therefore, your life, there's an incompleteness in there. Do you see what I'm saying? In that life. Okay? Yeah. Neat shit, right? So in this lifetime, she handed you this book because this is about the healing of that lifetime. It's another layer of all that is you and your soul and the dimensions of you that it behooves us to heal with everything. You know what I mean? That you are, and everything in Earth World, it connects to everything that we do in this life. It's an intricate fabric of incredible, amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any questions with this?
No, thank you.
D, I knew you'd come through. D came through with Swan. She says...
Thanks, D.
She says, for a long time... Technical difficulties on Jen's phone.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
For a long time...
Hold on one second. So D came through with the meaning of swan. Remember, we asked somebody to look it up. Thanks, D, for looking it up. Appreciate it. Okay, go ahead.
For a long time, white swans have symbolized purity, beauty, elegance, and more. White swans represent intuition and change. Because swans are connected to water, they're related to the idea of intuition and change. White swans represent love and protection.
All right. And that's and what's wild about that is, and there is so much more too that you guys can all read about swans and white swans. But what's wild about that is light and protection. You got that new protection pendant over here. Protection pendant. Okay, so that tells us again, you are super, super, super protected. All right, and you are super protected by God and love and light. And this is what you call the golden light of destiny. We've talked about this. The golden light of destiny is that your soul decided that you're going down this path and you're going to heal all of this come hell or high water, and we're in hell. Welcome to hell, right? So we're literally in what is the equivalent of hell with the stuff, everything that's going on, right? So come hell or high water, your soul came in here to heal this. Okay. And all of us, as all of us did. This isn't just about Rachel. This is about every single one of you, every single one of us. We are hard-ass learners. And Earth World is great for that, you know. We won't let go of things. We won't move forward. We have to get into some pretty rough situations, go through a lot of pain sometimes, because we are so magical that, and it's too painful, that we're so scared, we get stuck. Do you see? We get stuck with those demons. And those demons that I'm talking about is not that a demon has taken over anybody here. We're talking about the demons in our souls. In other words, the fears, right? The fears, the darkness, the crap that's in us that stops us from being our greatest selves, living our greatest lives. You know, so the swan speaks of listening to your intuition, speaks of being guided by that. It also speaks of the light and being super protected. So because of the golden light of destiny, you are super protected, and your soul has come in here to do this come hell or high water. So when they say, you know, nothing is really set in stone, it's not, except the golden light of destiny. In other words, and it is in your chart. You can do anything you want. But if your soul decides it is going to do this, and this energy is with this, that is what you will complete and do come hell or high water. And you are super protected. You understand that? Really cool shit, right? And it is because of this agreement that your soul has with all that is God and love, and this is your destiny. And this isn't just about you. You've come in here to change the world on a grand scale in multiple different ways, as have all of us in different ways, and we are all part of the same team, working in facets all over the world, all over the universe, and in all that we are, that is God, that is of the light, and chooses to be that. You see what I'm saying? And there's a whole energy of darkness, which is a counter energy, right? And it's made its home here, right, for a long ass time. And that's, again, we've talked about this as to why Saturn is of the darkness in Earthworld. All right, why Saturn is the governor of darkness here in Earthworld. It is not of the darkness, but it is, you know, there's two sides of Saturn. Like there's a duality in all of us, just like Gemini, you know. There is the light and the dark. However, you choose who you want to be, and you can, I don't care what anybody says, yes, you can eradicate the darkness. And so when they say, you can't, you're always going to have some kind of darkness, and you have to accept that in you, right? You have to accept in you the fact that you want to murder somebody. I don't think so. You fucking clear that shit out. You know what I'm saying? So truth of God or truth of love is, the truth is, that's not true. Okay? So there is dark, there is light. And you could say, well, there always will be that until this battle, so to speak, is, you could say, won by light, or the darkness is eradicated. There's multiple ways of looking at this and speaking of this in all different dimensions and spaces of God, depending on what your belief system is in the dimension of God that you are and that you are in. Right? That helps you to have an understanding of everything that I'm talking about here. You know, some people are in a different space of Earthworld beliefs as are others, right? That's why this whole COVID experience, one person believes this, another believes this, another believes this. It is their portal and their souls of the different God spaces that they are. Okay? And they're all different vibrations, depending on those spaces, and they're all portals of God, right? And this is how things really work. This is why some people will hear you, some people will not, all right? And, you know, some people know that you can work on the dark and the light. Some people live with their miseries all of their lives, right? But if they learn higher knowing of love, or become enlightened and keep going on these paths, and are these spiritual people who are just truly spiritual, meaning in your heart. It doesn't mean you have to do what I say, or be whatever religion I am, so to speak, or do exactly how I do. All it means is, yeah, it behooves you to be in your heart, because that's the only way you're going to live your greatest life, is when you come from love truly. And the spiritual journey is of the self from love. But as we go on this trail or this path, right, we have all different dimensions within us, and including the one that we are in the now, right here in Earth world, that is our being. So when you speak to people, this is why sometimes they cannot understand you in the space that you are in, or the space of God that you are in. And I see it a lot of times on my Facebook page. People will post stuff, and they're in one space of God and I'm in another, and then they start to tell me how this is this, and it's, you know, and so they have a different belief system. I don't always agree with people. Sometimes I'll just put a smiley on there. Sometimes I will get into it if asked. If I have the time, I will talk to them about what the beliefs is and what I believe. And it's not a versus things. It's I believe and what you believe, and they're two different things, and that's okay. And it's based on the space of God that they're in, and it's all part of the transition of keeping on growing and moving towards highest potential of love, right? And highest space of love for us on a personal level, as well as all that is the world. And this religion does the same thing. It brings us to a high-end energy of love, where color and religion, color meaning color of your skin, or ethnicity, and religious beliefs don't matter anymore. It comes down to people. It comes down to energies. We're all different energies, and there's a code of ethics of honor and respect and love that you have. But we all go through this transition through lifetimes of all different religions, all different spiritual practices, all different colors, races, ethnicities. We've all been them at certain levels of God, especially when you reach, now there's, exceptions to every rule, but especially when you reach the highest states of Christ consciousness and God or love, and beyond that, especially when you reach those spaces, you have done all this work and gone through all these lifetimes, and you understand so many more things, because you can't get to those spaces of understanding of this level of love and beyond, right? This high-end level of love and beyond, without these experiences. Earth world is one of the greatest teachers and the greatest dimensions for really being like solid. Think of it, it's earth. It's tough to move earth. So when we come in here, we have these hardcore beliefs that are solid as the things that we can touch. So those things are hard to bang out. And that's why, Rachel, when people get stopped and they can't move forward, it's because they have those things in them that's really crushing, like the bull, the second house in Taurus in astrology, right? Heavy, things that weigh heavy on their hearts. So painful. And Taurus, again, is the bull. It's an earth sign. It's an earth sign. We came to planet Earth to eradicate these things. But it is no easy task, as the earth is solid and it is hard, and you don't move the earth easily. So your inner demons, or your darknesses, or your toxicities that you carried with you, have with you from lifetimes, things that are not finished, assessments that you made in your soul, whether they're truth of God or not, they're all in there, and they all will manifest in some way, shape, or form, and in multiple ways in your reality. It cannot be stopped, right? And that's how it works. Okay, so going back to Swan, there's a lot more to look into with Swan. Again, it's interesting because being a swan is also on the cover of that book. It would be display, being on display. You know what I mean? When you put on a performance, you are on display. People are watching you. Right, so you want to put on your best beautifuln's, right? You want to look your best. You want to be your best at whatever you're doing. If you are presenting a show, you know what I mean? Yeah, and bringing us back to our costumes and our outfits, just like the gold that I wear, and some of the stuff has stars in it, right? This all has to do with the highest knowing of love, and talking with the stars and stepping into the stars, just like the shoes Dee designed for me, the astrology sneakers that we showed you last week. Again, we had a little recap on them, right? Same thing. I put on my astrology shoes. I carry my astrology shoes with me. I have them with me. I can tap into that energy anytime, all the time. I can do it normally, but that just helps me to have even more power in Earth world, to go to those places quicker, see more insights, have more understanding, and utilize the power of all that is God, because they are galactical shoes. They tap into astrology. So the power of all that is God is with me when I put on those shoes. Do you see? What shoes are you wearing? Boots for the warrior, right? Shields for the warrior, right? Same kinds of things. These are tools, all different tools, both metaphysical and earth world, that we use to help us to tap in to everything metaphysical, and everything to assist us in both earth world and in physical earth world as well. So tapping into physical earth world stuff as well. Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps that segment up, does it not? Yeah, super welcome, super welcome. But there was tons of incredible wisdom here again for all of us about how the soul works, what's really happening, and so you guys can understand what's going on with you too in these times, because it's wild. It definitely is wild. So this is a new beginning for you, Rachel, and it's a new beginning for all of us in the stars. It's a whole new world now. So how are you going to morph what these gifts that you have in you into this reality for your mission here, both for yourself personally and within the collective of all that is God, to change the world to love? And this is and be your greatest you, and on a grand scale, or whatever scale you want to make it. And you can always change your mind, and make it whatever you want, because that's the nature of all that is God. You see? So, but your soul changes it. In other words, like when I say the golden light of destiny, that's your destiny, and your soul's going to do it come hell or high water, right? And usually when you get to this space, that golden light is absolutely permanent, and your soul has decided no matter what, I'm going through it, I'm going to make it happen. Hence the miserable pain and sickness and all the stuff that we have been through in the past 4 fucking years. 4 years, right? 4, right? All the stuff that we have gone through in our trials, our tribulations, our journey, and we're still working through it, right? All of those things are part of the things that our souls agreed to, because we're going to finish this job come hell or high water. Yeah. So it really super incredible, neat stuff. And let me just see, come hell or high water. But at any time, your soul, so the percentage of that is 73 to 93 to 98%, but there's always a small percentage that if your soul doesn't want to do it, it can change. But no one else can stop you. It's always you. Do you understand that? But the golden light of destiny is what will for surely happen, you see. And it may not happen in the way that you think. God is infinite, you know. Very rarely does it happen in the way that you think, literally. And that's the whole nature of Earth World, is getting you out of the way that you literally think and getting out of your head and into your heart, right? Yeah, neat shit. Okay. That said, does anyone else have any questions? And what time we at? So
8:15.
Okay.
Nikki has a dream analysis.
All right, we've got a dream analysis from Nikki. Hi, Nick.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Oh, I just stepped on that. All right, so everybody, hi, Nikki. Say hi to Nikki. See Nikki? Hey, Nikki, can you see you there?
Hold on.
All right. So what's going on, girl? You said you have a dream?
I do, and it was more like a walking daydream. I was walking to work listening to music, and I haven't dreamt or daydreamed in a long time, and I thought it was kind of interesting. And my dream, it's a reoccurring daydream that I watched it sequence itself multiple times, but it started changing each time I saw it.
Okay.
And in the beginning, I was like campaigning politically, and I had a lot of protesters and stuff like that, and the ground started shaking. And I was in the Midwest, and I knew the ground shaking was due to our herd of buffalo, but I didn't see them.
Okay.
And then my dream backtracks, because I'm kind of just out there with Evelyn and Nicholas, and someone has a drone kind of like, let's see how she really is. And I'm listening to music and dancing in pretty much the fields of grass in the western plains, and Nicholas is watching, and a herd of wild horses come, and they allow us to ride them, and I could even though I was physically walking, I could feel myself riding a horse, and the excitement and the wind in my hair and that beautiful sense of freedom. And and it was complete bliss. And then I'm back campaigning and doing a speech, and as people are like yelling at me because I'm not woke, the herd of horses come back and they stand behind me like they got my back.
Okay.
And then a whole herd of buffalo come from the back and scaring the crap out of the people. And I've never seen a buffalo in real life, but I know they're huge, and I'm just awed at how big they are. And instead of like plowing through like me and everybody else, they kind of circle around me and just watch me.
Okay.
And
all right, I gotta stop you here. How much longer?
I would say that was it.
Okay. Because this is like for a personal appointment. Okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. No, and I'm not mad or upset at you at all. All right. We totally want questions like this. But are you sure this is the end of it? What happened at the end? Give me the last line.
That pretty much, I was staring at the buffalo.
And the reason I say that it's for a personal appointment, is because it's long. It's several parts, several sections, and there's a lot to unpack here. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not about one thing. So what we can do for tonight is I can tell you this has to do with a whole ton of different things. All right? Your dreams into the future, your dreams now, what's coming in for you now, what's coming in from the past. There's past lives involved in this. All right? Each little segment that you say said, tells me different things with all of this. But because it is so complex, it's going to take like probably a good hour to talk about it to get to all the bottom of everything here. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, in my mind, it didn't seem complicated until I started talking to you.
All right. So yeah, but there's a couple things that I'm going to bring out for everybody here with this to help you and to help everybody understand. So all of these things relate to the things that you're going through in your personal life. Okay. First of all, I don't know if any of you know, but you can look up the spirit animal bison or buffalo, and they are all about abundance. And if you think about it, of course, because they're what? They're big, right? They are big. Okay, so buffalo is about abundance, all right? So there's going to be a huge amount of abundance coming in for you in multiple different ways. And that also has to do with your spouse, your partner getting another job, you looking for another job. So these are things that your soul is creating. So it's simultaneously creating these things as well as telling you at the same time what is coming. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is all parts in the dream, but being out on the plains and the rumbling of the buffalo, all of these things are past lives that you have had that are Native American lives. Okay, multiple ones, and there are bits and pieces that your soul is pulling out for assessments as you're working through all this stuff of what's happening, what's going on in your life, what's coming in the future, where do we go from here, what your dreams are. So we pull different portals of information out of our souls for each and every dream that we have, all emotional stuff, and in all that we are, visions, hearing, listening, talking, bits and pieces. And this is also part of the reason why dreams a lot of times are bits and pieces and chunks and don't make a lot of sense, and we try to figure them out. Sometimes they're long dreams, but they're still bizarre within themselves. You know what I mean? They're long, they make sense, they're whole entire stories, but they're usually more often than not bizarre. But then there are also some beautiful ones, and beautiful ones can be bizarre too. It doesn't mean that this all is toxic, right? So this said, your soul is assessing on so many different levels in so many different ways what is happening, what's going on in the world. It's pulling out bits and pieces of your past lifetimes for release as well as for understanding what's happening. The wild horses is about freedom, right? Horses is about freedom. Sagittarius, all right, in astrology is the sign of a higher knowing and freedom. So is Uranus, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Jupiter, bigger things, greater knowing, higher knowing, freedom. If you put Uranus and Sagittarius or Uranus and Jupiter together, boom, you get massive, what do you call it? Higher knowing, you get abundance, wisdom, and freedom. Okay, so you're going to get massive amounts of freedom, and this is really what this is about. And it's also you assessing on a personal level your freedom, what you want to do in your life, your freedom to do your life, to live your dreams. So the horses are backing it up, the buffalo are backing it up. So there's huge abundance, there's huge freedoms, and all these things are coming in for you with your new life. And then we could go from piece to piece to piece, analyzing it even more on a personal level, next time we talk and work together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And also, there was something else that comes in here with this. Thank you, God, for bringing me back to that. So we're giving you like a major overview of all of these things and what's coming. And the bits and pieces we'll talk about in the future. But for now, this is the wisdom that comes in here with all of this. And Sagittarius is horse, the half man, the half horse. It gives you a wildness. It gives you a freedom. It's a very different from an Aquarius freedom. Two different kinds of freedom, right? If you feel the energy of a wild horse, you're free. You can run for miles. Your hair is wild. Your actions are wild. You're intense. You're in your heart. You're passionate, right? Aquarius can be intense and passionate as well, but there's a lot more going on, and they are totally about freedom, right? But it's in a different way, okay? It's about in a different way. And in a toxic space, it can be all about totalitarianism, right, or communism or Marxism, and the same thing with Sagittarius, while it can be higher knowing of God and higher knowing in all multiple ways, in a toxic space of that, Sagittarius is righteous and judgmental and has its own warped beliefs, right? But same could be true with Cancer and Capricorn in some way, shape, or form. But as a governing rule, Cancer and Capricorn, Capricorn is the universal ruler or the universal law of Earth world, right? Or universal law of Earth world. So Capricorn, let me just see, has more of a handle and a solidness in the grounding, and because it's an earth sign. Cancer, being water, is the opposite sign, and they go together, and they have a code of ethics like Capricorn, but it can sometimes get skewed with the emotional stuff, and that the water is not solid where the earth is more solid. But sometimes, they both can become toxic always with not being able to budge and one having no boundaries. You say water has no boundaries, and earth you can't move. But there's multiple different things in this to share and explore. So this is what's really going on here with your dream. You're assessing a lot of different things. You're looking into your future. Your soul is creating it. Just like the campaigning thing. This is a dream that is part of your destiny. Do you know what I mean? You want to change the world on a huge level and get involved in politics. But the politics that you're going to get involved with are not going to be the dark ones that are going on here. Yeah. And we've had conversations about this because everything's going to new, different changes, massive changes with all this. So this is all stuff your soul is working out. It's about premonition. It's about stepping into past lives. It's about working all these things out, healing, understanding multiple levels, and a security as well from your soul. Okay?
Yep.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does. I have one question.
Yeah.
Would you associate the buffalo with Taurus?
You could in some ways, yeah, because they're in a similar family. So the answer would be yes. Why do you ask?
Mm-hmm. I was just curious. We were talking about the horses in Sagittarius, and considering you can't move a buffalo, just like you can't move a Taurus.
No, nope. No, you can't. And it's again the things. But the bull is also the bull in many different ways is different things. It's steadfast. It's it's in a different thing, in a different space than is a bison. You know what I'm saying? They both have a particular wildness, but as a general rule, the bull is domestic. Do you see what I'm saying? Where the bison is absolutely fuck wild, you know what I mean? But they both have a loveliness, and they have many of the same traits and qualities within them, Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's unique to the individual as to what is for them, what is, what messages are in the moment, messages across the board, messages of universal law, messages in all that is metaphysical and all the layers of all that you are. There's going to be multiple things and multiple understandings. And what's for you might not be for me, but these are what comes in for you with this dream tonight.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, girl. I'm going to give you the phone back to Jen. All right. Thank you. All right. Okay, so that said, where are we time-wise? I know we talked a lot about dreams and the things that happen in dreams and how they work. And so where are we at time so I can balance everything?
It's 8:30, and we got a couple more questions.
Okay, let's shoot. We'll get the questions done, and then we'll come into the last little bit, and we'll talk about our segment of, and much of this has to do with our new lives, our new destinies. We'll talk about that as to what's happening that is creating this stuff to happen in Earthworld. In other words, Earthworld, God, universe, is taking the reins here and creating things with our souls for them to happen. So when you ask God for something, you don't have to orchestrate it or figure it out in every little detail. You ask for what you want, you put it out there, you let go, you let God, you ask that you're happy no matter what happens, you clear your blocks, let go, let God, and ask that you're happy, like I said, free of attachment, and to ask universe, love, to create it, and it will be so. And they will guide you as to every move, everything that happens, and you'll know what to do, when to do on a subconscious soul level. This is what's happening in these times, to share this with you now, and then we're going to go back to these questions, to your questions as well, so everybody understands that, you know, when you ask God for something and something won't budge and let you have what you want, or doesn't in the way that you would think, universe will bring you what you ask for, come hell or high water, if you are in alignment with love in these times, and it is your time, and the influx of energies are bringing all of this in. So trust universe. If they tell you to go to Dairy Queen at 7 o'clock at night to get a fucking ice cream or to do something, you go and you do it. You know what I mean? Because it's all in alignment with the energy shifts. And it may be that you meet somebody there who offers you a job, and then it spins you off in a different direction of what you've asked God for, but you would have never thought of it that way. Do you see what I'm saying? So if God tells you to do X, you do X. God tells you to do Y, you do Y, right? Just same thing the other day, you know. I was online in the bank, and there may be 4 lines that are open, and the one that universe tells me to go to is the one that somebody is waiting on, so I will be behind, and I'll have to wait. Well, do I want to wait in Earth World, or do I want to listen to my intuition, my God connection, my God space? Because I may then be missing something that I need to know, you know, and universe will bring you things in multiple different ways. But remember that all because it's easy in Earth World, and you feel like doing this, right? Or you think you should do this, or you want to do this. Why do you want to do this? Because I just want to take the easy way, and I don't want to wait online, and I'm pressed for time, and I can't do this. But your soul says, with its God connection, the connection of love, your intuition, your soul says, you need to go, or the angels say, or your guides say, all the same, right? All the same connections. And they say, you need to go to the middle line where that car is, then you go. You go. Because there's far more going on there with energy shifts, wisdom, connections, both in Earth World and metaphysically. And that's what's going on in these times. And if you're in your destiny and somebody tells you no and you don't know how you're going to get there, let go of it. Let God bring you to that space, and they will talk to you. They, the angels, will talk to you, and they will say, you are super protected. This is what's going to happen. And they will literally come out and tell you that in these times, with this energy, with your destiny and the golden light of destiny. What is meant to be will be, come hell or high water. And universal law, or love, governs everything. It is the master law of everything that is. So you are super connected to this. You always, the more you work with this, the more you're in the flow of God, and you are in your destiny and what you came here to do. This is what's happening, especially in these times. It's really incredible. And I will have some massive, incredible stories to share with you into the future. But I can't tell you them now because we're going through this stuff right here in Earth World. So we have to get through the forest and the trees to be able to share this with you, because right now it's like hot coals, and it's too hot for me to touch right now because there's so much riding on this. So while I can share, doesn't mean that I always should, but I'm here to tell you that I'm supposed to share these things with you. And then as we go in time, and I'll bring you more about this information of what's going on in my personal life with everything that is creating my dreams to happen. And you can all see what's going on through my Facebook page, through what we're doing here, through my life, through what we share on the show, right? You can all see these things and these transformations in me and the new destiny happening, right? But there's a whole bunch of controversy right now wrapped all around this, because I asked God for X, and it didn't come to me through the vehicle I would expect it in Earth World. And then universe says, well, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just go. And all these things then ended up happening. And because they're very sensitive things, you know, like they could have to do with court, they could have to do with a whole bunch of other stuff, I have to sit tight and work with God and wait for it, right? Talk to God, talk to universe. Like I said today, I said, are we supposed to be doing this or doing that or doing this? What should I do now if this has happened? You know, because there's all these different avenues and paths that were put before me. What should I do now? And they said, sit tight and wait for it. We got this. We got you. Okay? And this isn't for me. This is for all of us. So when you feel like something's not going your way because you ask God for it not, you know, and it's not happening, right? Trust the universe, but make sure you're in alignment with love in that moment. Clear your blocks. Am I doing the right thing? Is this what's best from love? Clear this out. Let me be happy no matter what happens. And if this isn't the way, then bring me to the best way from love that this needs to be done. And universe is infinite. God is infinite. That's why the darkness can't win here. Because where there is God, there is a way. Always. They can tell you it's going to be like this and this and this and this, and you're going to have to conform. And what does love say? Fuck you, is what love says. Everybody says that love doesn't curse. Oh, yes, it does. It just doesn't do it in the exact same way that the people do it. It does whatever the fuck it wants to do. And that's who you guys are, and me too. We are these wild souls, these wild high-end love energies that are here to change the world, and there ain't no stopping us. The only thing that stops us is us. And it doesn't mean that we get vile or toxic like the darkness. We be guided by higher knowing and our hearts, and be in alignment with love, working with God, working with the universe, working with love. Well, and just listening to our hearts, simply said, is how you're going to get to everywhere you wish to go. And this is what's happening right now. So when things don't go your way, these things are all lined up and they're in the stars, and you can't stop God. Love finds a way, always. Okay, so this is really what my segment tonight is about. I will bring you, I hate to be cryptic like this in this particular case, but right now I'm like, yeah, if I'm supposed to talk about it, I will, and I must listen to higher knowing with these things, but I'm giving you all the information that I can right now based on, without pulling into my personal story with every detail. But this too is coming, right? But this is to give you wisdom to know we're all going through this kind of stuff because the darkness is really trying to stop us. And this is a war of dark and light in multiple different ways. So how do we navigate? We navigate by working with love. We ask for what we want. And if the road gets changed to a different path, then that's the way we go, guided by higher knowing. But whatever we ask for, ask and you shall receive. It will happen. May not be in the way that you think, but it will come true. Okay, it will manifest in this reality. Okay, so that was the wisdom that I wanted to share with today, and I feel like I'm going to finish up with the rest of your questions if that works for anybody. And any comments? Does anybody have any comments to what I'm talking about or here and what I'm saying?
No, just questions.
Okay, just questions. Okay, so what do we got? How many questions do we have?
2.
Okay, great. Let's go.
Greg Halupa is asking if he's going to be alone for the rest of his life.
Greg Halupa, hi, thanks for coming. No, when you say alone, what comes in is you're not going to be alone for the rest of your life. There's some work to do on you that must be addressed, right? And that's about you getting comfortable with being alone with you. Nobody else can be comfortable with being with you until you are comfortable with being with you. And that is a huge part, 57 to 63 to 68% of the energy in you that, and we all have some of us in us, the abandonment, the I'm alone, I don't have anybody, woe is me, you know what I'm talking about? A very prominent energy in people, earth, world, space that behooves us to let go of. When we love ourselves and are comfortable with ourselves and have things that we love to do and lives that we have and a house that we have or this that we have. And it's not about things that we have, like literally in physical material way in earth world. It's about who we are and what we have in here. And are we comfortable with ourselves? Do I love to write? Do I love to paint? When you are truly comfortable with you, and is when you will be alone, right? When you are truly comfortable with you and being alone and loving your life and doing all the things you do, and you're not paying any attention to that partner, is when you will be healed with this, and the best partner will come in for you. I do feel it's going to be in the next 2 to 3 years. It can come in before this, but right now this is one of your big challenges. As I said, it's a pretty big percentage rate. It's one of your soul's big challenges in this lifetime, is to get comfortable with you, with being you and who you are, discovering you, your identity, what your dreams are, and then you will then call in the best partner for you. I feel you've already called in that partner, but they cannot come as long as this is standing in your way internally in your energy, in your soul. So the answer is yes, and 2 to 3 years may seem like, oh my God, it's forever, and you're thinking, oh, it's 3 years or more, but that's not really how it works. 2 to 3 years is any time within the time frame now to 2 to 3 years, okay? So that's what that means when I say that, and this is what universe is telling me here now for you. Is there anything else for Greg gone? No, they're telling me to tell you, do your thing, do what you love, and be happy. And everything will fall into place. Everything will fall into place. And anytime you're not happy with being alone or feel miserable, ask love to clear that out and put the best way to be from love. The more you work on this metaphysically with these energies, ask and you shall receive. Ask to remove these energies, this emotional stuff in you, and to be happy no matter what. Clear all these blocks out and free you from this now, please, and that you're truly happy and not attached to, oh my God, I've got to have a partner, because that's like an epidemic here in Earth World. We think that we need a partner to complete us. No. We already are complete. We already are whole. Like when people say to me, I'm bored, what can I do? Be comfortable with you, right? And you won't be bored with anything in your life. You're going to love your life. You're going to figure out who you are and what you love to do, and it happens all the time. I don't think I've ever been bored all of my life. And that's also part of the Gemini, Sagittarius, Mercurial thing. It doesn't shut off. It keeps going, right? So you could activate these things in your soul, and they will also be activated through the transit in astrology to, finding these things, asking for these things, and you can work with this energy. Everything is energy of all that is God, and your soul is all part of that. So these things, I'm going to just ask God for these gifts for you now, please, to release this energy, to be comfortable for you, to love your life, to live your greatest life, your greatest dreams, and truly be comfortable being alone, free of feeling like you're abandoned, free of feeling like you're not going to have anybody, free of the earth world human condition of all that is this and having to have a relationship. And it has to be like this, and our ideas and grand illusionment of this has to be like this, and am I ever going to have a partner? And all the stuff that's wrapped up in this that isn't the God's honest truth, that is Neptunian toxic and delusional. Clear all of this stuff out of Greg if he so chooses, and out of all of us, because this is non-beneficial to any of us, really. I too don't have a partner, Greg, for like 20 some years, and I think it's because I don't want to be hurt anymore, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm over it, and the partners that I've had, and the experiences that I have are not strong enough in the energy for them to be worthy and of value to me anymore. So I'd rather have no partner than a partner that is toxic for me, right? Yeah. So big stuff. So we're all going through variations of this, Greg. So let's clear all this energy out of all of us and put an emotional energy that is all this of the past, in the subconscious and the conscious, and in all that we are, all energy that it is, emotionally and all that it is. And let's put the best way to be, clear all attachments that are like this. Let us connect to all this and that have to do with this and or this. And let us connect to all this. Let us feel it, heal it, process it, release it, and be free of it now, please. And put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you for these gifts for Greg and all of us now, please. And thank you for no matter what happens that we're happy, truly. And happy, first and foremost, with ourselves and love ourselves in the healthiest, best way. And thank you, God, for that for us, from love. Thanks, God. There you go. Okay, so this will help you, this energy work that we just did here. Words, thoughts, emotions create. So we did a prayer, kind of basically the teachings of Christ and the teachings of Thoth, and many more spiritual deities as well, I'm sure. However, if you look into this, a lot of people look at me like look at me cross-eyed when I do this kind of work, because they don't really completely understand it. All right, so these are some avenues where you can look into understanding what it is that I do. I speak, and it is so. Do you understand? We clear out these energies out of you. And this is for all of us. And this is all part of my gifts in the work that I do here. And it's to heal people, to help people, to assist people. We remove the energies in us that stop us, and then we're happy. Then we have a partner. Then we have the best health, and we have our dreams happen. Do you see? Okay, so thank you so much. And these prayers are for everybody if they so desire them. And all of these gifts for Greg if he so desires them. All right, so thank you, God, for that for all of us from love in the purest form. Thanks, God, for that for us. Okay, so who's next, Rachel? I think we got one more.
Marissa Marangolo.
Okay. Hey, Marissa.
She's asking for assistance with her oldest son.
Okay.
She believes that he's in a bad way with an evil woman that will destroy his life. She would like to know if you think that he will be released from her, or if she should let go of him and let it take its course.
All right. All right, what's the God's honest truth? Her oldest son is having issues with the partner that she's having issues with the oldest son and the partner that he has.
That's how I understand it.
Okay. All right, Jesus, take the wheel. God's honest truth here about what's going on here. For Marissa. All right, ultimately, I would always like the names and the birthdays if you're comfortable and you could send them. However, it's okay if you don't have these things. I'm just going to pull and ask God for universe for the answers to this. Okay, so you're very concerned about this. What universe is telling me is that you need to let it go. You need to drop it and let go and let God. Put it out there what you'd like to happen from love, all right? But it behooves you to make sure that you're in alignment with love, that the things that you want to happen for them. Okay? Everything is a life experience, whether we want to have that experience for ourselves or not, and we get all intertwined with the people we love on an emotional level, and then we get all wrapped up in it. So there is a lot of this going on. So I would ask God to be free of this. Ask God for the best outcome. Ask Jesus to take the wheel, right? It's not unlike with my daughter, and my sickness as well, or sicknesses that we're working through. When you have a child that has seizures, and there's like nothing that you can do but give it to God. Do you see what I'm saying? So at certain point, you do everything that you can do both in earth world and guided by higher knowing, and release this please now, God, and thank you for the best outcome from love. So this is the wisdom and guidance that is coming for you and them right now. Remember, this is part of his soul's best journey, his soul's best life, and he's creating this so that he can remove these energies from him and step into his new destiny. So you can ask God for it to be, or love for it to be, in the best way from love, but it's not your journey, and nothing you can do is going to change this in the physical earth ways and beliefs that we would want to or think. So what it behooves you to do is clear these energies out. Ask God for the best outcome for all of this. Ask God for what you would love or like to happen with all of this, and ask God that you are happy no matter what happens with them from love, and you're able to see the God's honest truth, free of delusion, and with all of this, so are they from love, and if they so all desire it, and you do too. Thanks God for this for us from love. Clear our attachments, our blocks that stop this from happening and holding on to this emotionally. Release all that energy. Put the best way to be with all of this in place from love. Thank you for these gifts in all of our souls, and all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is from love, if we all so desire it, and the best outcome here for everybody. Thank you, God, for these gifts from Marissa and her family as well, that she is speaking of here now. As we have asked, if they also desire it from love. Okay, this way we put that energy out there, we heal us, change us, release these patterns in us, and create what we would like to happen. We give it to God. We ask that we're happy no matter what happens, and thank you, God, for that for us. And universe will take care of the rest, always. The whole entire thing will be taken care of, and you will be amazed by how this works if you do this. And we already started it going by doing these energies. We're creating stuff, we're removing stuff, we're asking God for what we want to happen, and we're letting it go. Thanks God for that for us. Because when you let it go, then it can happen. When you hold on to all these things that you don't want to happen, you create it to be worse for your son and you and the whole situation. Do you see? And that's something nobody wants to do. You don't want to be the orchestrator. It's his soul. It's his life. You want to give him guidance from love, but you want to do it in the healthiest, best way from love. And here it is. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, and much love. And in the end, he's going to be a hell of a lot better off for this whole experience, and you will too, because you will have great wisdom, great learning, and it will propel you into a whole new journey of really your best life and past the blocks that you can't get past, or it feels like weigh heavy on your heart. The second house, Taurus in astrology. Heaviest stuff, the bull weighs heaviest on us, right? In our hearts. Okay, so those are the answers for you now. Any questions does she have with that?
She made a few comments. She did say that the girl tried to physically attack her, and that he has said that he can't function. His mind is confused, and he has said so.
Right. Yeah. So with those comments, ask God, ask love to change all this. Ask love that the universe clears all this out of him and puts the best way to be if he so desires it. Right. So you have all the power to assist him with this energy from love. And that's how you do it. If she's physically attacking you, is that what she's saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So then you can't go there. Right? If she's physically attacking you, and ask God to be free of her. And if this is what's best, ask God to be free of her for your son. And if we also desire it from love. Do you see? Because right now the fact that, she's attacking you, and this has become far too dramatic and vile, and you can't put yourself in these toxic situations out of love for you. You can love your son, right? But you can't allow that to happen to you. And you can ask the angels come in and take care of this, just like last week when my daughter, was this last week? I think it was, yeah. My daughter had to have decided, she didn't have to, you know, there's discrepancy about how it had to go down, but we ended up having surgery for my daughter. And what I did is, I'm not crazy about, you know, any doctor as it is. We all know that I have my challenges here if you watch the show on a consistent level, and you know me and what I teach and all. Right? So my daughter had surgery, and what I did is I asked Love and the angels to come in and do the surgery through these doctors, because there's shit that I don't care for about them, but I felt that they in the earth world, they were the best, and I'm always talking to God and the angels about this. So I asked the angels to come in and do the surgery through these doctors for the best outcome, and I pray on everything. And if this is what my daughter so chooses from Love and is best for her and all of us, so be it from Love, the best of everything with the outcome, best health, best surgery, best outcome, best of everything we need from Love. Thank you, God, for that for us. So this is what you can do with your son and this woman, but it behooves you to stay away from her, because she does come in as being mentally ill. But remember, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so your son does have some cognitive issues. The issues are things that he's going to have to address, but these are the things that block him and everybody here from their best destiny. And in the future, I feel there's a great propensity, 53 to 57 right now, of them splitting up, so it's more than half, but I feel like it's even 68 to 73 as the traumatic events keep on happening. And it may be what happens because you ask to be free of them, if you so choose in this energy, and you grab hold of it. What will then happen is, if you ask to be free of them, universe will step in and remove the problem for you. So the woman could end up in the psych ward. The woman could disappear. I mean, 1,000,001 different things could happen, you know, but it's not that we wish anything bad for anybody. That's not what I'm saying. And we don't orchestrate these things. We ask Love to handle it and just to be free of them. And universe, with their soul, takes care of it in the best way for them. So if she were to disappear, she would disappear because you asked God to be free of her, but she would disappear because her soul called this in for her. You don't know where she is if she disappears. The important thing is that it doesn't matter if she disappears. It's what you ask God for, and God is answering your prayers. Do you see? So this is all huge wisdom for this situation. Same thing, your son will then, he has to release her if she disappears, right? So, but he also has to release his own inner demons, because what you are is what you attract. So if one person, and this is the wildest part, you know, to give you, like with my one daughter, I'd tell her, you know, we would talk, and and when I would get mad at her, I say, you're just like your dad, you got all this shit going on that's just like him, and this is what that is, right? And then one day I realized, you know, I'm like, okay, God, what the hell, you know? I realized that I got with her dad because I was like that. Do you see? I had those things. What we are is what we attract. In some way, shape, or form, the toxic energy that he is, she is. I am, he is. Do you see what I'm saying? And it just doesn't manifest in the same exact way. So this is huge journey and growing and for your son and his soul. I do feel he's going to come out on top of it, and there will be a new partner for him in the future, but not until, you know, we travel through this. And this is your journey as well. Your souls are intertwined with this massive healing for yourselves, and to go into the future of the new world and your best dreams. Yeah. And as soon as you let go of this, then you can put your energy into other things for you and him. Trust God. Trust Love. It will be in the best way. Trust it. Trust it. It always does what is best for you, even when you don't think so. And even when it gets really rough, always. And the wisdom that you will obtain from all of this is priceless. Rachel and me were talking about that the other day, that we've gone through 4 years of like wild things happening to us. And it's been one thing after the other. And we've shared much of it on our show here over the past 2 years. Has it been 2 years? Yeah, it'll be 2 years, I think, in August, won't it? Yeah, 2 years on the show here, right? We've been through incredible things. But Rachel said to me the other day, and this is the truth of it, that without these experiences, we could not have gotten the wisdom that we got. And it has been huge. The gifts, the knowing, the infinite magic that God has brought through us through these whole experiences. And this too is happening for you. Okay? So hang in there. Pray on everything. Clear your blocks. Clear anything that doesn't resonate with you. If you're feeling miserable, if you're feeling upset, if you're worried about it, send him angels if you're worried about it. Clear that out of you. Put the best way to be from Love. It's how you address all these things. And if you have any questions in reference to this or upset, you know, PM me. We'll help you. This is all part of what we do. You know? Okay. So much love to you. And let me just see. Anything else? Or is that it for tonight? What time is it?
8:53.
It's 8:53, guys. Thanks for coming to the show tonight. I don't know. Let me just quick. Oh, I can't even. You guys don't have my schedule. I'm wondering when my schedule, what's the next date we're going to be doing. I think the next day we're going to do the live is going to be next Friday, not Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see you then, but I'll definitely post it on my Facebook. You know, we also post it to all the groups and stuff, you know, so you guys will have it, but you can always PM us to find out when the next live is going to be, because it's going to be a little sporadic throughout the summer. It's going to be a little bit crazy based on our live appearances and things that we're doing out in public. You know, we've asked God for all these things, so they are happening, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds and rolls from here on out. So you guys know our next live show will, I feel like it's going to be next Friday at 7:15, and we'll see you then. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for being part of our community, and always much love, and thanks for changing the world from love. Thanks, guys. Bye. Okay, you guys, one of you guys want to come in and press this button? Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.